First up, outgoing South African ambassador to the US, Ebrahim Rasool, is expected to return to the country today. He and his family are expected to land at the Cape Town International Airport. Here's SABC News reporter Samgele Masego, who joins us for a live update now. So, Sam, we are told that the ambassador should expect a hero's welcome. What's happening where you are now?
Well, at this point in time, ANC and members of society have arrived in their little numbers here at the Cape Town International Airport. My colleague Sihle Mkhize will just show you the visuals of those ANC and SACP members gathered and seated there. That's the regional leadership of the Dela Omar region currently seated there. I have seen also a number of ANC and SACP leaders whom have arrived here at the Cape Town International Airport for the arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. You can see them, they're taking their pictures. You can also see a placard here, Ebrahim Rasool, you have served our country with honor. You can see that particular placard there that is going to be hoisted by that member of the ANC there. Ebrahim Rasool, you have served our country with honors. That would be a member of the African National Congress in the Dela Omar region that will be holding that particular placard in the anticipated arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. It's not yet clear whether he will be arriving on the Qatar Airways from Doha at 20 past 10, or he will be coming from Frankfurt that lands at about 5 to 11 this morning there, but there are a number of ANC members further expected to arrive here at the Cape Town International Airport, despite the President of the Republic of South Africa and President of the governing party saying that they must exercise maximum restraint. We have spoken to the SACP through its provincial secretary within the province of the Western Cape and also the ANC's regional secretary in the Dela Omar region, saying that Ebrahim Rasool has served the country with distinction. They anticipate his next deployment by President Cyril Ramaphosa, and that South Africa, in the words of Benson Mqejwa, who is the provincial secretary of the SACP, if the United States of America withholds its money to South Africa must just simply withhold its minerals, which are words in line with what Minister of Mineral Resources and Petroleum Gwede Mantashe has had to say. Then you go further. The Veterans League President Snukizi Kalala asked the question, is it advisable to continue working with an impeccable enemy that is simply not willing to You've seen President Ramaphosa saying that South Africa will not be sending any envoys to the United States of America to go and explain South Africa's policy positions, because there is no human rights violations that are happening within the country, and that South Africa is a sovereign state that must protect its sovereignty and not have to explain itself to other countries on its land policies or any of the policies that it chooses, saying that South African delegation to the United States will only go to explain, and not even to explain, will only go to the United States to engage on trade relations, particularly around AGOA and other trade matters that may arise with South Africa's third biggest economic trading partner after the EU, which is the second as a bloc trading partner to South Africa, and China being the first, saying that will be the only time when a delegation will go to the United States of America. South Africa still does not have an ambassador in the United States. With the expulsion of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool, a number of names have been touted about, but today it is all about the arrival of Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool. He will be ultimately greeting these ANC members that are gathered here, and SACP and members of civil society, when he arrives and touches down on this Cape Town International Airport. But obviously, I am not alone. I am with my colleague Vanessa. Over to you, Vanessa.
Samkelo, yes, thank you very much. Of course, we are still awaiting the arrival of the expelled Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool here at the Cape Town International Airport. I have seen, and I'm sure you've mentioned it there just now, that quite a number of representatives of various political parties, including the Tripartite Alliance, their leaders are here at the airport at the moment in anticipation of Mr. Rasool's arrival. We also can tell you that while we are stationed here at the general arrivals International's terminal. The AXA, the airport's company in South Africa, also indicated to us earlier that they can't guarantee that Mr. Rasool will be arriving and exiting via the normal airport procedures. But joining me now is one of those representatives of various political parties, Shamima Salih. She represents Al Jamaa. Shamima, very warm good day to you. Of course, we know why you're here, so I'm not going to ask you to explain why you are, but of course the significance of coming to the airport today to see the arrival of Ebrahim Rasool. He has been expelled from the United States as an ambassador, but of course when we spoke to some of your colleagues in the other political parties, they were expressing their views around why they felt it necessary to welcome him in this manner. Perhaps just from Al Jamaa's point of view, given the diplomatic fallout as well as the tense situation between South Africa and the United States at this moment.
Assalamu alaikum and good day to all. From the Al Jamaa side, I think unity is very important. Though Ebrahim Rasool may be seen as a person non grata to Donald Trump, it doesn't mean he's a person non grata to the most of America. But for us as South Africans, we are grateful for him for standing up for the values and the morals and the ethics that we as South Africans should uphold. South Africa is under attack. Why? Because of the ICJ case and because of us being pro-Palestinian. There has been many threats, intimidation and acts in order to have us drop the particular case. Ebrahim Rasool, when he left for America, noted that he was placing his megaphone down with regard to the pro-Palestinian stance. We know that we can never put that megaphone down, and that is exactly what also happened with Ebrahim Rasool. We cannot keep quiet with regard to a genocide that's being committed, a genocide that's being armed by America and clearly being armed disgracefully by President Donald Trump. I note that there was also a request for us not to come and not to make much of a hoo-ha at the relevant airport. But we are grateful for Ebrahim Rasool, and we are very proud of him, and that is why we are here to show we are united, and that, South Africa, we will not be bullied.
Shamima, there's huge concern around the trade relationship between the United States, which is a major trading partner of South Africa, as well as this diplomatic issue at the moment. From Al Jamaa, how concerned are you when it comes to that trade relationship, when it comes to the PEPFAR funding cuts, etc.? This does have a huge impact on our country, does it not?
It absolutely does have an impact on our country, but what people does not understand is as reliant as South Africa is on America, America is reliant on South Africa. We have many things that we are exporting to America as well, and I do believe that with regard to the Americans, they too will be impacted by cuts and the impact on trade. So there will definitely be a pushback, but South Africa needs to realize why and when did we become so financially dependent on other countries. We are owing other countries trillions of rands of debt. Currently, we are just servicing interest and a little bit of the debt. I think we need to wake up. Why are we taking our resources, selling it to another country and buying back the completed product? Why are we as South Africans, why are we not completing the product? Why are we not creating more job opportunities? And why are we as South Africans not reaching out to those countries that are actually reaching out and wanting to work with South Africa? So we need to stop this financial dependence. The other problem that I'm sitting with as I'm standing here, I'm thinking to myself, is this just about trade relations, or is there also personal investments that is being impacted, and hence this current environment that we are finding ourselves in?
Whose personal investments?
Well, we have many people who invest in other countries. So I don't want to delve too much in that, but I just want to leave that question out there and people to start thinking for themselves.
Shamima Salih, thank you so much. Of course, they're from the Al Jamaa party, talking there to us about South Africa's economy and the fact that, according to her and her party, we should be investing in manufacturing so that South Africa is not reliant on its trade partners to purchase back finished goods and then just be a mere supplier of raw materials to other countries, and in this case, including the United States. Of course, the time is ticking by. We do expect that the expelled ambassador will be arriving here at Cape Town International Airport very shortly.
Right, it's Vanessa Poonah watching developments there alongside Samkele Masego. Thanks very much indeed for that update.